usually would have something over his head. But Marion was a good brother. There were 5 years difference in our ages. He was born 1915, and I was born in 1920. He carried me everywhere he went. I don't think I ever would have gone anywhere if it hadn't been for Marion. And he would take me to the cliffs. We used to be there around the river road. It was all wooded area, no road there then. We would have to walk. And we used to swing from a vine and swing over the cliffs and then let go and fall into the soft dirt beneath. And just everywhere he went, he would take me. And I've always appreciated that in Marion. There was Wesley. He was 10 years older than me. And Wesley was very good in helping out with the family during the Depression years. And I think there were many times we would have gone hungry had it not been for Wesley. And William and Marion, they did their share, of course. Marion got married at such a young age that he just had to quit giving because he had his own family to take care of. But as each one of us came along, we did our part. When I came along, G.W. Lord was still in school. I've forgotten whether Herbert was in school then or not. But the responsibility laid on me. And then when G.W. graduated from high school, he did more than his part in helping to care for Mama. By that time, my father had passed away. But anyway, those were hard years, those depressing years. Well, they were sweet years. I have some very fond memories. And on Christmas, if we got one thing, we were lucky. And usually I would get a pair of skates. And boy, that's all I needed, a pair of skates. And everywhere I went, those skates went. But I was telling Bobby, I would like to write a book about all of those years and entitle the book The Bittersweet Years, because they were bittersweet years. Had their tough times, but also had their good times. And I wouldn't take anything for the different experiences that I went through. And the entire family, we went through these things together. My children and my grandchildren can't fathom what we went through during those Depression years. If you're old enough, you'll know what I'm talking about. But people were having a very hard time, and we were included. But my mother always saw that we went to Sunday school and church. She loved the Lord, and she taught us all about the Lord, and I appreciate that in her. My father was a very gentle person. He was not a disciplinarian by any means. I never saw him chastise any one of my brothers or sisters. But boy, he gave me a paddling one time because I made a face at him. And he turned me over his knee, but I don't think he hurt me. But he was not a disciplinarian, but he was a man who took care of his family and loved his family. And we had a good family. Let me say this about Wesley. When I was about 3 years old, we lived at 18th and 9. One day, I don't know whether Wesley had sassed Mama or what he had done. I was about 3, and Wesley must have been about 13. Just to that age where you begin to, his Mama used to say, you're sort of feeling your oats. Anyway, so Wesley did something, and Mama started slapping him up and down the hall. And I had never seen Mama chastise any brother or sister in my life. It frightened me. And I started crying because he was beating on my big brother. I couldn't understand it. But all of a sudden, Wesley jumped up and started just doing like this towards Mama. She said, "Oh, that's how you want to play." And she started dancing around like, I'm telling you, Wesley got out of the way. And I was only 3 years old, and I remember that. But I could tell you a lot of things that can go on and on, but I don't want to bore you.
Well, you did a good job. We appreciate it. Let's give him a hand. Does anybody else have a story to tell that is dying to share with us?